Hello, Scorpio. This is Art Kozak for Art Kozak Tarot, and this is your Wheel of Fortune reading for the rest of February 2020. The Wheel of Fortune is a reading designed specifically to let you know where your opportunities lie and hopefully give you some guidance as to how best to pursue those opportunities, what some of the results might be. This can be for love, like many of the readings I do can be love, for it could be money, but most of all, it's for what's on your mind. And this reading right here is for helping you get ahead in life when you're ready to take that step. And so let's go ahead and dive right in. It looks like right now, Scorpio, you, with regards to the various opportunities you have, whether they're romantic or financial, what have you, in your life for improvement, for forward movement, you are in an attitude of seeing reality for what it is and speaking your own truth, knowing your own truth. You're not having any crap right now. You're being diplomatic. You're ready to be diplomatic about things, but you're not under any illusions either. And that is a very good place to come from when you are dealing with what needs to be dealt with in this lifetime we're living right now. Now, I see you have the opportunity right now to take some time, perhaps take some time alone, and whether this is physically alone or this is simply within your own self, taking some time to yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to involve rejecting the company of other people, but it does mean keeping your own counsel and taking stock. You have the opportunity to do that. Kind of withdraw from things for a moment and really take stock, take an inventory of what you've got in your life right now. And this can be a very good activity. This can be a very good activity for keeping your finances in order. This can be a very good activity for keeping your life in order, but it can also be a very good thing to do just to withdraw for a little bit and take stock, take a good, honest look at what you have in your life. It can also be a good way to gain gratitude and foster gratitude in your life going forward. And the cards are showing that if you do that, if you take some time to do that, then you will immediately be ready to charge forward yet again. Take some time to yourself, take stock, see what you've got in your life. You're in a very good place to do that mentally right now. And as soon as you've done that, you know where you are, you know who you are, you know what you've got, then you're immediately going to be ready to charge forward again and get started at whatever you want to get started at. You're going to have a lot more energy going forward because you're going to be on a sure footing. And that's always important. Now, I'm also showing that you have the opportunity, along with this kind of withdrawal or this kind of, internal self-assessment, we should say, you have the opportunity, something in your life which is represented by temperance. The temperance card in the tarot can be a bit enigmatic sometimes, unless you just think about it on the surface, for this surface meaning of temperance, tempering things. You have the opportunity to move away or to quiet the volatility in your life. If you have some volatility in your life, maybe in your home, maybe in yourself, you have the opportunity right now, because you're in that good mental place, to even that out and to quiet things out mentally, to quiet things out. You have the opportunity to quiet your impulses as well. Maybe even go on a diet. I mean, that kind of, if it's something that materially straightforward for you, it may not be. This is going to involve, however, a little bit of dreaminess on your part, a little bit of being unsure. At this point, I know that may not sound that may sound a little bit contradictory, but I just have to tell you what the cards are telling me. You have the opportunity to introduce greater temperance into your life, by going ahead and being unsure of things, going ahead and understanding that, sure, you're seeing you're seeing things in a very realistic light right now, but you don't know everything. And so recognizing what you don't know and understanding, and I think this is a clearer message coming through, is that understanding that the dark parts, understanding what you have in front of you, taking that as self-assessment, knowing who you are, what you're about, looking at the world in a realistic way, that also means recognizing what we can't see. That also means recognizing that the dark side of the moon is there, and we can't ever see it. That we can't see beyond our limitations. And so that means also accepting your intuition, accepting the fact that some decisions have to be made intuitively. Some decisions just have to be made. As much as you would like to have all of that information ready to go, as much as we would like that, sometimes you just have to go with your gut and take a step. I think if you take that, you introduce a little bit of that temperance into your life, wherever it seems appropriate, you're going to foster a greater ability not only to come from a clear mental place where you are right now, but also then to recognize when you need to go with your intuition. You may have the opportunity right now, and I'll just put it kind of in a straightforward manner. You may have the opportunity to improve your home right now, to improve your home life. I think that, for instance, if you have the opportunity to redecorate your home, this would be a good time to do that. If you have the opportunity to foster greater abundance, work on your garden, so to speak, whether it's a literal garden or your garden, whatever you're growing around you, nurturing the place where you're at, nurturing the place where you are, being nurturing towards your physical surroundings. This would be a very good thing for you to do, because that is going to put you in a place where you have your own higher mind, your own kind of self-determined ethic is going to be much more clear in your mind. Right now, you're very clear in your mind. You're very clear on a kind of an ego level, not in a negative ego level, but you are very clear in reality and what you want. You're not taking any crap. You're not interested in illusions, but you do have the opportunity to temper that a little bit, to reconnect with your intuition, and you also have the ability to nurture. And by applying that nurturing, especially to your physical home, to your family, to your physical life, your health perhaps as well, you are going to get to a place where you're feeling right. You're feeling right with God, whoever that might mean for you, or whatever that might mean for you. You're going to feel a little bit more right, like you've got things right. And so that would be whether it's something as simple as redecorating the living room, or seeing to your physical health, or nurturing it, taking efforts to nurture your family and the people around you, go ahead and step into that. Put that effort in there, because you're going to be rewarded, and you're going to have this opportunity, again, to make things right. You have the opportunity as well to increase your defenses, to defend yourself. And by defend yourself, I don't mean fighting. I don't mean fighting against really anything, but to make sure your personal boundaries are in place, and your personal boundaries are there and to be respected. You have the opportunity to do that right now. And again, I think you're in a very good mental state to do that. I think this has something to do, once you've done that, you can then go on to new things. It's often difficult to let new people and to let new things into our life, or to become new people, or to become something new in our lives, until we have our boundaries straight. Boundaries are very important for human beings. Boundaries are what help us, the boundaries of the road are what help us move forward. Without them, we would be all over the place. And you are in a very good place right now to set those boundaries. I would not advise, I would not necessarily advise doing this in terms of relationships. If you do, however, if you have some relationship in which you need to set some boundaries, I see being very open-hearted about it and just being very good-hearted about it and very kind of in it non-confrontational about it, should we say, could lead to some very good opportunities. It's going to lead to a renewal for you, maybe even a material renewal. That's what the cards are saying. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, but if you have some boundaries you have to set, specifically in terms of a relationship, do so with an innocent heart. Do so in a non-confrontational way, giving the other full faith and credit. And I think you're going to be rewarded for that. You're going to be rewarded for that handsomely. Right now, as I say, you're in a very diplomatic kind of mindset, so you're in a good place to do that. Speaking of relationships, and this may or may not relate to a relationship issue for you, but the way the cards are laid out, this is probably speaking directly to those of you who are looking at this kind of situation in terms of relationships, whether they are romantic relationships or other kinds of relationships we have in our lives. You do have the opportunity finally to turn away from something. There may be something that you need to turn away from. Maybe it's an old relationship that just didn't work out for you, a romantic relationship that didn't work out for you. Maybe it's a situation that didn't work out for you. Maybe that's the reason why you're in this mindset right now, where sure, you're ready to be diplomatic, but you're standing in your own truth right now, and you're not, again, not interested any lies, any illusions, or giving any ground really that you don't have to. You have the ability to finally step away from that, whatever it is, by dealing with the leftovers. You have to process those unprocessed emotions. We always have to process the unprocessed emotions. You can't just rip the Band-Aid off, especially in terms of human relationships. I know some of us like to think we can do that from time to time, but very rare is the occasion where it really works out. I think you have the opportunity right now to go ahead, walk away from whatever that is, and deal with the unprocessed, with those remaining emotions, process those remaining emotions inside you, because if you do, you are going to be led to a place where you are now in a very good emotional state. You're going to gain wisdom that way. Emotional wisdom, intuitive wisdom. You're going to gain a kind of mastery over that. And this is an experience I think that you need to have. Now, use your best judgment always. The cards rely upon you using your best judgment. But I definitely recommend it for those of you who find yourself in a situation where there's something you know you need to walk away from. Maybe particularly in terms of a bad relationship that you've gotten out of already, or that you're in the process of getting out of. If you go ahead and go and you deal with that stuff that you got to deal with, that little bit of a broken heart or the disappointment, really, more than anything else, the disappointment, just deal with that disappointment. Having that experience is going to make you so much more mature and so much more capable going forward, that you're going to be in a very good place when it comes to engaging with the world again. I don't see this as something that's going to wound you. I don't see this as something that's going to wound you permanently. In fact, this is a chance for growth. This is a chance for healing and for leveling up, for becoming a little bit better. So I hope some of this was helpful for you. Again, feel free to refer back to this. And feel free to comment, and thank you for your likes and subscribes. For those of you who would like to support the channel, there's also a link to our Patreon page below. Patreon subscribers receive an additional 2 readings every month at the very least. One for love specifically and one for money. The love reading is separated out between singles and those in committed relationships, so there's something there for everyone. Once again, this is Art Kozak, and I look forward to speaking with you again in the future.